How are you feeling?
Better. Thanks to Taya.
I'm glad to hear it.
And Torgal helped too. Didn't you, boy?
What's going on, everybody? Jason back with another video for you guys. Back on some more Final Fantasy 16. So today's video is going to be a little bit of a side off from, of course, the main story. As you guys know, this game has a number of side quests and a number of bounty hunts that they have you do in the game, of course, with some interesting enemies to some very challenging ones. And for this video, we're seeing our first S rank of the game. If many of you have been looking over, before the release of the game, if you guys recall, in the week leading up to the release of Final Fantasy 16, they did have a number of gameplay, live streams where they showcase the game some more here and there. And they showed off one of these fights. They showed off this very exact fight that I'm going into in there. And it's literally a fight against an Iron Giant at S rank, of course. As you guys can see, I am level 35, and I think that was around the same level that this gameplay was showed off to us. But here, as you can see in this video, what I was doing, this is a voiceover, by the way, of course, this is post commentary, but in this fight, I was like reconfiguring my loadout set for my icons, and I was unsure of what I wanted to do with this. So normally what I wanted was to be using Judgment Bolt, because that's probably one of the strongest abilities in the game. But to me, the cost of it was too much in order to put it in one of my other icon loadouts, whether it be Titan, Phoenix, or even Garuda. Like I said, I've said in the past, I don't particularly like Ramuh's icon feat, which is the circle attack if you're on the regular controls, because it slows down the fight. And of course, I like to keep up with I like to enjoy a high, quick, fast-paced battle for sure, especially in some of the big fights in this game when you're using Clive, right? But for this, I decided instead to go with Titan's big-time icon ability, and that was the Earthen Fury. I decided to upgrade Titanic Block. I used Raging Fist for this fight, as you guys are going to see. And then I had Earthen Fury. You're going to see me upgrade it, or unlock it. And I just decided to use that just because I was like, well, why not? Flames of Rebirth is alright, but, you don't, in this game, there's not a lot of regen health to recover when you get hit. So, kind of a little pointless to me. Aerial Blast is okay, but then I wouldn't be able to see the enemy. That's great for AoE. That's a great AoE attack against a massive, large amounts of enemies. And then as for Judgment Bolt, it was the one I wanted, but again, it was because of the cost. So for Phoenix, I went with Willow of the Wikes because it's a nullifying attack. You're able to actually not get hit by certain attacks for like up to 4 times, I believe, or up to 5 times, which you completely upgrade it. I went Heat Wave to, of course, parry the projectile attacks I'd get. I went Lightning Bolt on Garuda because, of course, when you combine Willow of the Wikes with the Lightning Rod, it's a very powerful combo in order to do a lot of stagger damage. Of course, we went with Rook's Gambit for Garuda, and then with Titan, we went with Raging Fist and Earthen Fury. But, yeah, that is my loadout for the fight. So here, in this is going to be my first attempt. I won't say what happened, but in this fight, I decided to go in with the Berserker Ring. Now, when you guys see this, once the fight begins, I won't say much of what happened, but at the same time, I wish I didn't really do that, and we're going to see that.
Seems this one has a little more life left in it. Alright then.
Okay, so Atlas, this is the S rank hunt, as we all know. Again, this was shown off to us right in the week of the game's release, so this was nothing new to me. When I saw the S rank, pop up on the hunt board. You couldn't see the location or the actual name of the enemy, but I knew immediately what the enemy was, and I knew it was this guy. So seeing that, so you guys can see I am using the Berserker Ring. If there are many of you who probably don't still know what the Berserker Ring is, I mean what it does. I mean, we're almost 3 months since the game's release, right? The Berserker Ring basically lets you enable the limit break attacks that you see Clive do, as you can see clearly, and his base form before you don't even need to limit break itself. Now that's interesting because that's some extra damage. You know, you're able to do a lot of the different attack animations you see, and again, it is for the sake of better damage. But for the sake of this fight, I'll be honest, I think this was a mistake from my part, just because one of the, you know, definitely for sure, for the sake of maneuverability and like defensive options, when you do precision dodge and you do the charge, the precision shot after the dodge, the counter shot to me is very strong. It's very not powerful, but you know what I mean. But it's like very good. It's a good option always. It gives yourself some distance from the enemy, and then I mean I got some distance here, as you can see, but at the same time, I really didn't want to attack as well, although I am, because you see, I was able to get a parry off, because that's the advantage of the limit break combo strings. Now, as you can see also in the fight, I have the lightning rod active. This is a very good. I remember seeing, I remember who this combo video was, but I was looking at some videos talking about how you could improve your combat in the game. And they said Willow of the Wikes and Lightning Rod was a great combination. Now, separate, Willow of the Wikes is a nice defensive option, you know, like I said before. And then as for Lightning Rod, it's good for mass areas of enemies. Now, when you combine them together, it's so good for the sake of decreasing an enemy's will gauge very rapidly. Now this guy, again, I mean, it's level 45, as you can see, with putting out these very difficult attacks, and I'm taking very big damage. I didn't really want to get up close and personal, but I had to. In order to get that strat off, it is very important that you are close distance. And again, remember that with Lightning Rod, you're able to reposition it if the enemy moves away, which is kind of a risk, because you see this guy is doing, you know, extra burning damage to me with the flames on the ground. But I will say, with the 10 level difference, a difference in 10 levels, this fight wasn't overly difficult. It was fun, of course, but yeah, it was not too bad, honestly, for me. Now, in saying that, the reason that there is post commentary, one, of course, I wasn't able to actually like talk during the time of this recording, but two, at the same time, well, let's just call it what it is. You guys are going to see my very first death in the game here. I had one death already in arcade mode, but now it's to one of the bombs when I was during the Phoenix Gate section. But it was arcade mode. It was in arcade mode, so yeah. But here, I expected this to be my very first death. I didn't think. I'm surprised they allowed you to do this fight. Then I thought that it was just like a little bit of early access gameplay, like. We're way above our pay grade for when you'll get to this fight in the, in the actual game, but that was not the case. Now overall, how I was doing this fight, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of difficult to see when I was using the Willow and the Lightning Rod strategy, but you can see I had him below half health. It was going pretty well. This fight was going really well. I'll be honest. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Yeah, the will damage wasn't insane, but it was something. And then a nice dodge there. The attacks weren't too difficult, but I was being a little over aggressive. And I think that's also in part because of the fact I was using the Berserker Ring. It's nice, but at the same time, if you're facing enemies that do not get staggered as you're attacking them, not just like staggered in general, like stagger gauge, but if they're not reacting to you hitting them, that's probably not a time to use it, in my opinion. Just in my opinion. Now, I mean, you know, the way to negate that is by not being aggressive. And there you go. My very first death in Final Fantasy 16. As Torgo's just growling. Not bad. You know, I expected it one day, but not a big deal that it finally happened. As from here on out, this is the rest of the video, as this is my second attempt and the one that goes through. So this fight was not too bad, but I did enjoy it. So I'll leave you guys with the rest of this, and I will see you guys back on the playthrough for the rest of the series.
Another relic of the fallen. Well, it seems this one has a little more life left in it. All right then.